Yo, what's up, guys? We're gonna do a recap on the trade that I took today on Nasdaq, on micro Nasdaq. Um, and yeah, so ended it in a loss, about $260. Um, yeah, let's just get into the trade recap. So going into the day, we had a high time frame SMT with ES. So ES was at the time, and it still is holding strong. It created that higher high right here, right? Nasdaq created that higher low, or that lower high. My fault. Created that lower high. So we failed to take this liquidity on Nasdaq, but ES took out the liquidity. So Nasdaq is the weaker pair compared to ES. So knowing this, my boss is pretty bearish, as well as this 4 hour BISI right here. One of this 4 hour BISI right here. There's two of them. So this 4 hour BISI right here and this 4 hour BISI right here. This one got disrespected yesterday, Wednesday at 2 p.m. Got closed below and got disrespected, right? And then today's new day started, and this morning at 6 a.m., we closed below it. So this was the last, text. I would consider this a textbook fair value gap. A textbook fair value gap. The last one in this run that was disrespected. So after this was inversed, I was looking for shorts, and we had a very solid displacement below it and a closure below it, very solid. But price, it was just bad price action today. I don't know what it was really seeking. I guess it just chopped around. We did have high impact news today, so I do not know why it was so bad. But price closed below it and just completely just disregarded that we just disrespected this 4 hour. So we went back up, pushed up, and then closed over this as well. As you can see right here, is we're holding this volume balance. Price barely closed over it, and that is a pretty bearish signature. So we'll see what today's PM session, the last hour, will tell us about tomorrow. And if we do end up pushing lower, for the rest of the day, we might see a continuation lower tomorrow for Friday, as we've been pushing up for the majority of the week. It's kind of sideways, to be honest, this week. But yeah, if we push lower today, most likely tomorrow we will see a finish in this market maker sell model right here, and a retracement to this new week opening gap once again. So yeah, we will see. But so yeah, I was looking, once this was closed below, I was looking for shorts, and the dollar, it was a little bit trickier, right? So the dollar, the 4 hour close is an hour ahead of the indices. So a 4 hour candle might close at 10 p.m. or 10 a.m. This might have closed. This closed at 10 a.m. right, and it confirmed my bearish bias. DXY, their 4 hour candle closes at 11 p.m. So it was kind of hard to know where DXY was going to go. But looking at Nasdaq and looking how bearish it looked, I was pretty bearish. Just took the trade, and I was pretty confident. But as you can see right here, we respected it pretty well. So I was expecting it to break above this and close over this 4 hour SIBI, this very small 4 hour SIBI, close over it. But as you can see right here, we respected it pretty well. So we also have a bearish bias on here as well. So I don't know what's really going on right now. Both indices and DXY, we have, it's kind of the same bias, and that's just low probability conditions. That's not the best thing ever, but we will see if price will straighten itself out by tomorrow. So yeah, let's get into the trade that I took. So yeah, right here, let's go to the first trade I took. Okay, so I took two trades. One was a break even and one was a loss. So we obviously inversed the 4 hour. Price started to push down, ran back up around the 11 o'clock macro, 10:50 to 11:10. Ran up and expecting a push lower once this macro hit, right? So we took out buy side liquidity, and then we had this 5 minute textbook inversion fair value gap. Actually, I wouldn't even consider this textbook. Decent size fair value gap though, pretty trustable. Um, price pushed strongly below it, and after tapping this 5 minute SIBI right here, and retracing to this 4-hour inversion fair value gap. And we closed below it, and then we traded back up into it, and that's where I entered right here on the open of this 5-minute inversion fair value gap. And we pushed lower into this most recent low, put my break even right there, and then price just decided to come back up and tap me out. So it came up right here and tapped me out. So break even, yeah. So now going to the 2-minute, I was still pretty bearish, looking for shorts right here. We had the standard deviation set up right here from this high of the wick to this low of the body, and the -2 and -2.5 level matched up pretty well with this sell side liquidity as well as this relative equal lows right here. So on the M2, the 2-minute, I was looking for shorts as well. We see a inversion of this 2-minute BISI right here. Not a super strong closure, but good enough for me. Price closes below it, and then I put my entry at the open of it, put my stop loss pretty much at 25 points. I would have liked to put it above this 2-minute order block, above the mean threshold above it, but couldn't have done that without de-risking way too much, and I don't really want to do that. So I just put it about right here, above this small order block right here. And obviously it wouldn't have mattered anyway. I would have gotten stopped out, but I did have my break even set right here. So if we just did push up a little bit lower and then continue pushing up from there, I would have gotten a break even trade once again. And so yeah, looking back at it now, DXY, that would have helped a lot, knowing that it would have, or that it respected this 4-hour SIBI. But I mean, it was an hour ahead. I'm not going to trade at 11 o'clock for the indices. I'm just not going to do that. But yeah, price action was pretty trash today. Don't know what it was really doing. I mean, it's not like we completely neglected this volume balance in this fair value gap, because we retraced into it last night before pushing lower. So I don't know what the purpose was for us to push all the way back up for this. But I mean, as you can see, yeah, we had this data high right here, but usually these do not matter. Data highs and data lows do not matter if it's not a part of your bias. I usually don't take data lows and data highs unless it is a part of my bias. So if I'm short and price is looking bearish and it's the high time frame, the 4-hour order flow is bearish, I'm not going to look for a long setup into the data high. You know, like, it just doesn't make much sense for me. I don't like trading against the trend, right? So yeah, like, I don't know what it was really doing. I guess it retraced back into this data high and this buy side liquidity. But I mean, overall, it was just not the best day. Not really. I mean, I wouldn't really consider that search and destroy. I mean, it might be considered search and destroy a little bit. Yeah, I would consider that search and destroy. It was just like there was nothing that really tipped its hand today, telling us that there was gonna be search and destroy conditions, and sometimes you get that, right? So we had high impact news today. It was a Thursday, and we didn't take out Asia high or lows during London, so we didn't really have a bias or a knowing, if that even makes sense, if price was gonna just chop up today and consolidate. At least I didn't. So yeah, if y'all enjoyed today's recap and found it helpful, like and subscribe, and we'll see y'all later. Peace.